Yay! I'm live. Woo woo. Hi, everybody. This is my first time doing this, and so it's going to be kind of interesting, really, because I really thought, as I was kind of planning it and thinking about what I was going to do, I realized that I don't typically plan a lot of my lessons. I tend to just react to the student, whatever they need to work on, and that's kind of what we do. And or base a lot of their warm ups is based very much on whatever song they're singing. So that doesn't work as well when I'm just straight up talking to the camera and don't have somebody there. So if you have something specific that you want to work on or that you want to have done, I do have some plans. Not like I don't have anything, but if you have something, specific song or anything like that, you can put a comment and leave that as we kind of go through. And hopefully by the time I get to the end, then I'll be able to actually read them and figure out how to adjust or not, and I'll know it for next time. I'll have a plan of what I'm going to do because I want to I typically, like I said, really plan my lessons around the student and to do whatever it is that they're wanting to do. But right now I do want to start with just kind of stretching and getting up and moving your body. I was talking to my students this last week, about the fact that especially because right now we're doing so much with screens. Even my chiropractor has noticed, he noticed when I went in the last time that my neck was like all much more out of whack than normal because everything is screened now and I'm not getting up as much. I'm not, looking, I'm having to look at a screen for so long. So especially if that is affecting you, it's really important that we get up. So we're going to get up and we're going to stretch. And I'm going to admit that this is the first time I've put on jeans in a week because I knew that I was going to stand up. So I did not wear the sweatpants that I normally had on. But hey, whatever it takes, you can be comfortable. It's great. That is really what we want to do. So as we're doing this, I want to just kind of point out what I'm really going to do is kind of stretch these neck muscles. Because if you think about your voice box sits here in the middle. It's attached to all of these muscles. So for many of us, if you carry your tension like I do, then we're just going to easily go over to the other side. If you carry your tension like I do in your neck, shoulders, all of that, then it's very easy for that to start to, because you're just already tight. When you start to sing and go, it's already tight. So we're going to stretch these neck muscles. If you can turn it as far as you can, let that go. A lot of times if you put your arm behind, that's going to help. Go to the other side again. And I'm going to put that. Oh, I really feel this when I do this, guys. It's terrible. I realize how much I am desperately in need of stretching and doing this before I start to sing. It's really important. So then I want you to tuck your chin, let your head hang heavy. And then we're going to do this one is really fun, but kind of weird. So you're going to open your mouth as much as you can. You're going to put your head back, and then you're going to close your mouth. And what we're stretching is this myofascia in your jaw right here. So you're going to open your mouth, lean your head back, close your mouth. Sometimes it helps if you kind of jut your jaw out, if you stick your jaw out like this, and then you stick it up. Oh, you stretch those muscles in there. Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to roll our shoulders backwards and forwards. Okay. So for anybody who's like, this is so easy and ridiculous and I'm not really even feeling like I'm stretching, that's totally fine. I'm not here to do yoga. If you want yoga, Haley Cloud on Facebook Live, 2:00 every day. 2:00 every day? I don't know. Schedule might change. But Haley Cloud, she does some yoga and it's really, really great. So you can get all that stretchy in, and it's also going to help work on your breathing and all that stuff. Anytime that you can start, yoga really talks about getting these deep breaths and doing all of this stuff, which is very important for how we sing. So going to give just a quick little, since this is the first week, quick little tutorial on how your voice actually works, right? We know that our voice is housed in our neck, but a lot of times you hear people say, breathe from your diaphragm or do this or do that. And it matters our breathing, but you have no idea why that matters. Here's why it matters. Your voice box is here. Your vocal folds go together like this, and they flow together and they vibrate, and that's what makes sound. So the faster they vibrate, the higher the sound. The slower they vibrate, the lower the sound. They also have different positions. We'll talk about that when we get into like head or chest voice. If you've ever worked on that break or hear somebody talk about, well, I just have this like break in my voice, or you feel it when it breaks. That's what's happening, is it's shifting positions and moving from a thick fold closure to a thinner fold closure. And so you want to be able to have control of that. But what is actually causing them to vibrate is your breath. So if you don't have enough air, or if you don't have enough control over that air, it's going to affect how that works. So just real quickly, as we stretch, we're going to do a stretch up. And I want you to think about breathing down into your belly and taking that nice deep breath all the way until you reach up. And then we're going to exhale. Good. And this time we're going to go over. So you're going to lean forward. Whoever said this was not going to be a full body thing? No. So I want you to lean forward. You're going to feel that kind of contract. And we're going to take a breath in that low posture. So I'm going to turn. So you're going to just lean forward, breathe in. Let that out, and you should feel in your back and in your belly when you breathe in this forward fold posture. So breathe in that as you're folded over. Breathe in. Feel that belly expand, and I want you to stand up. Feel where that was, and let it out. Good. Then you're going to see if you can breathe into it right there. So breathe in. And breathe out. Good. So this is where we really get a lot of control. So, like I said, we're going to start with kind of doing just some noise and some basic stuff. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit. You guys, just because the camera angle is, I feel really weird and sitting, but I'm still going to sit up nice and straight, because I want to be able to, so like for me, I literally actually look at what I'm wearing and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to think about breathing all the way down here. All the way below my knee is where I breathe. Also note that this sweatshirt is really big, so that I can easily do that and I don't have to worry about it. So again, if you're on questions, please make a comment and see if you have a suggestion or a song. My options right now in my mind for what we're going to warm up with is our diction or breath connection. So if you have a preference of those two, we're either going to do consonants or we're going to do breath connection. So you can let me know. Let me know what you think. Connect that breath to what I'm doing with the pitch. Okay. So, did it pause? And we're back. Okay. So we're just going to start. If you can do a lip buzz, great. If you can't, you're just going to either hum or ooh like a siren. So you can either be doing something like a lip buzz, which is it's just super easy to do. I'm going to so the deal is, it's really hard to tighten your throat while you're doing a lip buzz, which is what makes it nice. If that doesn't work for you, if you can't get the buzz, you can always hum. So even if you start the buzz and then it goes away, you can go. You can just start that way. If that's easier for you to do, I want you to think about breathing in and like, kind of like you're yawning. That's going to make me yawn. And then you're going to hold that in your mouth. We're just going to go up and down just a little bit. Get that kind of moving. You want to think muscle because it is. And so like any other muscle or any other exercise that you do, you want to warm up before you just jump in and sing. And the deal is that we use we're doing everything online. So even for those of us who would, go to church every week and sing, you're not even doing that. But you still use your voice every day, way that you don't talk. I mean, unless you really are all by yourself, which if that's the case, I'm really sorry. But most of us still heck, I still yell at my computer. I don't know about you, but even if it's just an inanimate object, I'm still using my voice because I can't stand not talking to anything all day. So with that said, I want you to think about every day you should be doing some sort of warm up to get your voice used to it, to start to build that muscle. So also like exercising, we're going to warm up based on kind of what muscle we're going to use, or we're going to build where they're going to do different exercises to build that muscle different ways. So there's strength training exercises where we're going to build. I have some students that really just need they need to be able to use their voice for a longer period of time. If you're doing a show, we do different exercises and different stuff when I know you're going to start singing for, hour-long periods, or, even a 30-minute set or whatever it is. If you're out gigging or doing things like that, you need to have that longevity, that stamina to be able to do that. So you're going to have strength training exercises. There's agility exercises. If you are interested in runs, although I will say if you are interested in runs, you need to go look at Natalie Weiss breaking down the riffs because she's the bomb. She's like super one of my favorites and is absolutely fantastic. And I cry because I try and do her runs and I can't do them at all. So that's what I'm working on. But there's different things that you're gonna work on with that. You do different exercises for those different things. So I'm gonna try and do this more often and do some of those different things and work it. But right now we're gonna just kind of work it as if we're just starting and we're just figuring out what it is that we need to be doing. So I want to start with that again, just kind of making noise. Hopefully you've all figured that out. How to do that, whether it's a lip buzz or whether it's a hum, or even if that hum doesn't work for you either, you can just do it on an ooh, which is what we call a siren. So you're just going to go ooh and get that. I want you to be able to connect that to your breath. So you're going to breathe in, and as you go up, you're going to squeeze this and make that sound go up. So, ooh, and back down. We're going to do with that lip buzz. This is one of those where I think about like High School Musical. A lot of my students, love that. And I love it of them doing it in the background. Like that's all real stuff. Like that's real life. Real people do that. That is in fact what we do. My sister often comments that if people only knew what it sounded like, not want to ask me to sing because it's gonna sound a little funny. So we're just gonna make some noise. So we're gonna do this now to pitch, and I want the same kind of thing. Thinking about your breath, thinking about just making it nice and easy. I'm gonna start low. Start kind of in the middle of what I think it would be. And if it's too low for you, just start when you're ready. If it's too high for you, for guys, do an octave lower. I'll actually do it with both. Let's see if I can do both hands. Okay, so we're gonna start here, and we're just gonna start on the lip buzz. Again, if the lip buzz goes away, you're gonna do it on a hum. So you're gonna go. Whatever works for you. Now, I do want to point out with this, if you're doing the lip buzz, it's really nice because it can help you see how your air is connecting. So if you're having to stutter a lot, it means that you're probably not, it's not smooth and connected. The air's flow is erratic. And a lot of times, sometimes it is just getting used to your mouth. If you need to, use your fingers and lift up, not one, but just an easy little, and a lot of times to make them, make it easier. Also, your lips need moisture, just like your vocal cords. So sometimes drinking water or chapstick or something like that. So I'm going to start back down here. So what I don't want is this. You're going to hear that I'm sputtering, right? So I want it to all be connected. I want to think about that being. I'm just going all together and keeping that nice and connected. So try right there again. Great. So hopefully that worked, and I'm moving things, and got everything kind of all together. You're having an easy time getting this. So, so then we're going to work on even more. We're going to do that a little bit more with the connection. So I'm just making my own decision. We might get to diction too if we have time. I just didn't want to go for too long. But we're going to start this with this nice hum. And I want to, again, really think about connecting that breath so that you're thinking about when you breathe in, I'm going to breathe and I'm going to keep those abs nice and tight. So when I go to breathe out, I feel like I'm pushing out while this is trying to push in. And it's like, oh. So those abs are nice and tight. And I'm going to connect that as I go. So I want just all one. Don't feel like you have to because then I'm having to use my vocal folds to close that off. I want to use my breath and let it go. Your diction, this is why these go together, because your diction is what is important to actually make that connection or make that cutoff. Okay, so it's going to make the separation for you and the rhythm happen for you. The diction is what does. So we see that more specifically in slow songs. So if you think about ballads, the one that I love to use is Someone Like You from Jeff. For honestly, I mean anything, but you hear it more. You hear the difference more in things that are slow and ballady. So I want you to think about this hum. So again, right here, thinking about keeping that space in your mouth. And I want to stretch. Watch that you don't take your chin up like this because we're going to stretch those neck muscles and that's not going to be what we want. So I want to keep my chin placed down. If you can, look at something across the room because our natural tendency to reach for those notes. I want to think about my sound. I'm a very visual learner, so I tend to think it in pictures, but I think about that sound being a ball of light that starts with my breath. So it starts way down here, not starting here. I'm not trying to where I'm squeezing my throat. I'm starting that pitch here. It's got to come. Now, I kind of missed it because I didn't go over it. You might have already found where you're switching and having to make that switch. Just let it happen. Don't worry about it. Don't worry if it breaks, even if it makes it this funky little, that's fine. Let it go. It's great. This is what I call my WD-40. You got a squeaky door, got a squeaky hinge, and it likes to stick, and you got to kind of jerk it. You just squeeze it with some WD-40, and then keep doing it. It might jerk every so often. That's okay. You just got to keep doing it. So that's what we're doing right now. is a little bit of WD-40 and a whole lot of pulling. So what I don't want is for you to squeeze. So I don't want, and that comes there. Ooh, that like hurt me. Okay. Also just know I have not warmed up either. So this is my warm up too, guys. So you're going to hear some of that like cracky, breaky stuff because that's what it takes. We just got to keep doing it. So I want you to think about, again, kind of elongating your neck. Think that posture is actually a huge deal. Think that your neck and chin is kind of tilted down. Neck is aligned with your spine and pull. And I want to create space there inside my mouth, even though my mouth is closed. So in the back of my mouth, there's space in there. Again, that's got to also come from here. So try that again. Let it pitch whenever it needs to. We're going to do 2 more. Awesome. We're going to start back down at the bottom again. We're going to do the exact same thing, but this time we're going to open at the top. So I want you to hum, find that, let that sound go up and over the curve. Find that buzz in the front of your mouth or front of your face, whether that's in your nose, your cheekbones. Some ranges it will be in your mouth. Some it might even be in your forehead, but wherever that is in the front, when you open, I want you to open into that buzz and go forward. So you're going to do this. No. Sometimes it helps if I say the N. So either way, if it is easier for you to do an N than an M, do that. No. We're going to try that. Okay. Wait, no, the first time I held it on the top, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let's do that. So we're going to hold into that buzz. No. And then let it out. Again, I'm really thinking about that connection. So connecting everything. Notice if no. I don't want that where I'm stopping that. I want to really connect everything. No. No. Good. Again, really think, even though if we're cracking and breaking, that's fine. If I could hear you, I would go back and do that note again. So when you're doing this on your own, feel free that wherever that break is for you or wherever that anything that trips you up, just go back and do it again. Try it again. See if you can maybe realign it. Do I need more breath? Do I need more space? Do I need more buzz? Figuring out those different elements and putting that back in it. So we're going to try here again. We only got 3 more to go, guys. We can do it. Here we go. Make sure you're dropping your mouth all the way open. Good. Really good. Okay. So one last thing to do is that kind of just pushed us, the humming thing kind of gives you that edge where I pushed it maybe not quite up into a straight heady voice. So a lot of times if I've worked a lot of time on that chest voice or pulling that chest voice up, doing a little bit more belty kind of sound, I always want to also then go back and kind of reset and use that heady voice so that the more you're using it, the stronger it's going to be. So again, guys, same thing for you, that falsetto voice or having that head voice, you want to use it. So a lot of times I'll go back and still kind of cool down with a woo, Just get that heady voice working. And you can even do some on the notes and just do it as an easy B flats as far as I'm going to go today. So, I hope that worked for you and was a fun little, kind of really short. I feel like, even though it's like almost half an hour, but I feel like my 25-minute lessons are always way too short because we didn't even get to a song, guys. So, but this is just kind of the first thing. This is what you would do to warm up and then go sing your song. So for instance, again, because this is what we did, I'll just show you really quickly if I can find, not the key change, not where the key change is. So on the song that I mentioned, Someone Like You is like one of my favorite songs. And it's, the chorus goes, then someone like you found someone like me, and suddenly nothing is the same. So that little section right there, if I was going to sing that, I want to think about, again, this really connection between my breath, so that I'm going, a lot of times I'll do it on the hum, and I'll just sing on the hum, because this is that different register. It's real easy to go, then someone like you found someone like me, and you feel it like clunk, and even you feel kind of that separation or jerkiness. That's what I was talking about with, I want to think about or you can do it on a no. I'll do it on an open no, 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 no. Or you can do it, then I would go and do it all on an O. No, 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 no. That is a really big drop. No. So I don't necessarily want to slide, but sometimes I'll practice it just so that no. So I can find where that should go rather than oh, and it drop way big into that. But again, then when I go to put the words, the diction is what's going to create that separation. And underneath, my tone is all very connected. So I'm thinking about that breath, thinking about that forwardness, making the line always move. Again, this is where we also get like our emotion and our performance. Sometimes those are just the exercises that we do. But when I put that all together, I get this, then someone like you found someone like me, and suddenly nothing is the same. So that kind of feel, sorry, it's another page for me to finish it. My heart's taking wing, and I feel so alive, 'cause someone like you found me. There. I know that was driving you nuts. I got it. Okay. So this is for real one of my all-time favorite songs. I usually do it in a different key than that, though, so it's a little strange for me. This leads us to another point, that it does actually make a difference what key you do songs in. Because sometimes just where that break is what makes it difficult. Or not even just that high note, but like where the low note is. So finding what works best for you and your voice is what's really, really important. And so I just want to encourage everyone. Like, I feel like one of my goals for, well, to be honest, life. One of my goals for life is that I just want to encourage people to know that your voice is something special. Your voice is unique and is as unique to you as a fingerprint. No one else can ever sound like you. So we want to create the best possible you voice that we can have. And I want to build your voice and help you to find that just the best way. I hope that this helps in this just early stages of beginning and finding kind of things that you can do. These are things that really we should be doing every day to just kind of keep it moving. Almost like they say, you should be doing some sort of stretching or some sort of exercise, some sort of movement, right? Because we want to move our bodies. Well, you're using your voice, again, whether it's talking or singing, or just, yelling at the dog. You're using your voice every day. So giving it some exercise, stretching it out a little bit, all of those things are really important. So hopefully this is going to help you. And you can do something like this every day. You can start with just kind of noises and then not even worry about pitches, or you can do the noise thing and then actually go to pitches and start to see how you can expand your range, how you can start to add more emotion into what you're singing. The more control you have over your voice and over your muscle, the more you're going to be able to express that song and emotion and story that you have inside. So hopefully this helps. Put a comment on the bottom and let me know if there's any questions that you have, anything that I can do in the next couple of weeks to help you, a specific song that you'd like to hear tips on or something like that. I do not know them all. So, but I will try. I will try and learn some other ones. My students bring me songs all the time and I'm like, never heard that. So if you have something that you want, you can go ahead and put it in the comments. And hopefully, if this time works, I'm going to try and do it every day or every week at the same time. So I may end up shifting that as things progress and I figure out what works best for people. But hopefully this is going to work. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.